Hey guys, Dana Goodwin here, and just wanting to do a quick update with you guys. It's been a few days because, well, really hasn't been a ton of things to really update. I'm kind of in a waiting period, and so if you're just catching us new, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of like a video journal, for lack of a better term or whatever, of like just my cancer journey. I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in February, and then I had a double mastectomy March 18th. So yesterday was the 3-week mark. Everything was going great, and then I ended up with a staph infection on the left side. Was doing IV antibiotics. I'm off those now. I'm still doing the oral antibiotics, but those will be done in a couple days. So things are going really good. And so there hasn't been a ton to really catch people up on, but tomorrow is my appointment at the Cross Cancer. So one thing that's important to know if you haven't been following or maybe you're new or whatever is that the type of breast cancer that I've been diagnosed with is called triple negative breast cancer. So there are different types of breast cancer, and one of the other types is one that there's an estrogen progesterone receptor involved in it. It's a little bit different. They've come out with some really great medication apparently to really address that cancer without chemo or in conjunction with chemo, and it's not quite as aggressive. So the sad thing with my type of cancer is actually it's known as the most aggressive and fastest growing. And if you heard my just sharing of my biopsy results last Thursday, was what's so awesome about this is that when they did the biopsy of the lymph nodes and the tumor, what's amazing is that the cancer was only localized to the tumors alone, not in the lymph nodes. And what's even more amazing is that there was no cancer in the tissues around the tumor. So for this type of cancer, that's actually really amazing news. And I wasn't even actually expecting that, because I thought, well, it would make sense if there is a little bit of cancer in the surrounding tissues. There was nothing, you guys. This is amazing. So they cut out the cancer. Okay. I'm just declaring over myself I'm cancer free. But I'm heading to the Cross Cancer tomorrow. So I know that for some people that may feel confusing as far as like, well, if you're cancer free, why would you do chemo? So they recommend chemo with this particular cancer no matter what, because of the high incidence of reoccurrence. So it's like 70% or something ridiculous with regards to reoccurrence with this type of breast cancer. So that's a really high rate. So they recommend chemo as even if so if they cut out the cancer, this would be more preventative. Now, I mentioned in one of my videos that I've had a lot of hesitation and reservation around chemo because my mom died at 39. She was diagnosed with breast cancer at 35, but she was actually in remission from the breast cancer, but she had opted not to have a double mastectomy, instead to go more aggressively into chemo. But what ended up happening is it literally killed her immune system and opened her up to things. And she actually died within 2 days of flesh-eating disease. So I've obviously had a lot of reservations about chemo. And if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said, heck no to chemo. And so, but it's been an interesting journey with the Lord and just having conversations with him about it. And, I mentioned before that, I really do, I have felt an invitation of the Lord to take the chemo. And I'm not even really believing it's actually for me personally. I actually really believe it's for me to go in and encourage and pray, see healing for other people with cancer. I've prayed for a friend at work that had a tumor in her rectum, and she called me a couple months after saying, thank you for praying, because they can't find the tumor or a single cell of cancer. So I know God heals cancer, and he does it all the time. And so I believe that I'm just gaining access to the Cross Cancer to pray healing and to, just let them know that they have a Father in heaven that just so desperately loves them when they're in a place where they feel absolutely hopeless. So I believe that. But, I'm a heart reflector as well. If anybody knows me, I wanted to actually get a little bit real with my own heart about chemo and all of this. And so as I was reflecting in my heart about chemo, because I really believe in natural stuff, like I'm doing both of those things. I'm on supplements, up the yin yang. I've been doing cleanses. If you're catching some of my other videos, I was on carnivore diet. I'm doing oxygen therapy, stem cell. I got patches that increase stem cell production. Like I'm really doing as much as I can to get my body healthy, to increase my immune system. Even just for this preparation of chemo, my immune system needs to be super strong. So I've been really focused on that. But, with regards to the chemo part, I had to kind of, really ask myself, like, I've got girls, right? Like they're 14 and 12. I'm planning on sticking around for a really long time because I got grandbabies that I need to meet and love on and all the things. And so, when you start looking at your life that way, I had to ask myself, okay, this is a type of cancer that has a high reoccurrence rate. And do I believe that God can absolutely heal me of all of it? Yes, I do. Okay. I believe that with my whole heart. So please hear me. I also believe taking care of your body is really important too. I believe all those things. But what I had to get really real with myself about is that if this cancer came back in, say, 4 or 5 years, because what you need to understand about this type of cancer, if it comes back, it'll be terminal. It'll be in my bones, my lungs, it'll have metastasized. And that's where this type of cancer, you just don't mess around with it. And so if I opted not to do chemo, okay, let's say I decided, no, I'm just going to go the natural route and all the things, and say it came back, I had to get real with myself that would I be upset with myself if I didn't do the chemo if it came back? And you know what? The answer would be yes. If this cancer came back and I had opted not to do chemo, I would be upset with myself because I wouldn't have done absolutely everything possible to make sure it doesn't come back. And I do believe with my whole heart that God can heal in many ways, and he could just zap the cancer, and I've seen it and I believe it. But I also do believe that he can also heal through the medical system. Somebody had to have the brilliant idea of chemo in the first place. Guess who put that in that person's brain? God did. Okay? He is the creator. And at the end of the day, yeah, chemo can be really hard on people. Chemo killed my mom. So let's just be real about this. But chemo has also helped a lot of people. And a lot of times people can really badmouth the medical system. Listen, I worked in it for 18 years. I get it. I've seen things. But I've also seen beautiful doctors and nurses and healthcare aides and people who are absolutely passionate about helping people and doing whatever they can to help people. And you know what? And I'm willing to partner with that. I really am. And you know what? And not to put God in a box as to how he heals. So, a lot of things have been kind of going on in my heart about all of these things. But, because I won't lie, I have people that are like, why are you doing chemo? Like, God can heal you. And this can be beat naturally and all those things. And I honor that. I totally agree. But this is an invitation I believe that God is inviting me into, because he said to me, the cross cancer is now your new mission ground. And I'm going to take that. Okay. And I'm going to believe that the chemo, it says I can drink poison and not be harmed. So I'm going to believe that I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to lose my hair. And even if those things happen, it's okay. I'll get through it. Right. I'll just go get a bunch of wigs and have blonde wig, a red wig and all the things, and just have a little fun with it. Right. I'm going to make this a good, a positive experience as best as I can. And there are going to be hard things to go through, and it's actually really okay. Because you know what? God's got me in all of this, but he's also got a plan for other people to be saved and healed and all the things. And if I get to be a vessel for that, then I say yes and yes again and again and again. And so I just felt like I just wanted to come on here and just kind of help, just even share and again, be really vulnerable with some of the wrestlings in my own heart and just talking to God. And I really hope and pray that this actually encourages some of you that are watching that, it's okay to wrestle these things out, but to get really real with if you were to look forward into something, that if the choice you're making right now doesn't turn out the way you think it is, would you be upset with yourself for maybe making this choice? You got to ask yourself some of those questions, right? And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I just wanted to pop on here really quick and just say thank you again for all your prayers. And again, pray tomorrow about my appointment with the Cross Cancer. I'm really praying that it's going to be minimal chemo and for a short amount of time, just more preventative, but that it's the right treatment. I'm really praying that, that it's the right one. So join me in those prayers. Love you guys, and I hope you're having a great day. Okay, bye.